Where did this fire first start?
The fire first started in Cherry Valley on the east side of the community of Oak Glen. So it kind of started in this area. It originally was 3 fires that kind of just all burned into one by the end of the night. And we just released the cause today. Or we didn't. CAL FIRE released the cause today. It was a malfunctioning diesel engine that basically spit out some material that ignited alongside of Oak Glen Road. Yeah, he was traveling along the road and, dropping this stuff along the way. And when, especially at that time of day, in the afternoon, when it's the hottest and the wind starts picking up, you have a high probability of fire happening.
And when did you guys kind of first start this base operation?
Well, let's see. The incident command post that you see here today pretty much developed all day Saturday. So as soon as the incident commanders from CAL FIRE and the county of Riverside, along with the San Bernardino National Forest, once they kind of decided, like, hey, we got a much bigger fire on our hands here, we're going to need to order a team.
And how was the evacuation process and just getting this all together with COVID? How is that happened still?
Yeah, there's really nothing to add as far as how the evacuations happen with the pandemic. I will say that the Red Cross and the sheriff and how they kind of coordinate an evacuation center has changed. So they're not allowing people to sleep overnight at the evacuation center, and I believe that was due to a COVID precaution. And instead, they're putting people up in hotels.
How has the fire containment been going so far?
The fire has been very active. It's making extremely active runs, mostly to the north and to the east, generally speaking. This area has been kind of the most active in the last 24 hours. We actually had spotting behavior that went ahead of the fire. So that happens when you kind of hit those steep drainages and you get wind to pick up embers and throw them across the canyon. So that happens on every fire, but when you have this kind of winds and this kind of topography and the fuels are so dry, it ignites really easily. And so we had a couple SWAT fires up here, actually several. And apparently we had a night operation helicopter that doused a couple of them, put them out. But one did get away and establish itself and kind of created another finger here. This is called a finger. Okay, and once that starts happening, sometimes they start dividing the management in the fire into different divisions. So each division is being covered by a supervisor who has a whole crew under him that he manages every day and every night. There's a night shift and there's a day shift. So that's been the behavior up here. And then over here, it's been spreading this way, not as much spotting behavior. Up in the higher elevations, you're going to get more wind. And down in the passes, you're going to get more wind. So this is Banning Pass. And, those the wind turbines that you have down, when you head towards Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree, there's a reason they're there. And that's because it's windy. So these ecosystems have all adapted to this, right? So they actually have evolved to adapt to the dynamics of the wind that comes through here in Banning Pass. But fires like this didn't normally happen in the past, right? We didn't have diesel combustion engines lighting up 500 years ago, right? And so now it's a little bit beyond what this ecosystem can really handle.
With this fire in this ecosystem, do you have like an estimate of how long before it's completely out or controlled?
That is something we really can't predict. Sometimes it's just a little too early to tell. Sometimes on incident commanders will have an expected containment date, and we don't have one yet for this fire.
With the summer being so hot, do you expect it will make challenges for the fire?
Yeah, we don't have any rain in sight. So when we have fires like this where there's no rain in sight, the temperatures aren't going to go down much, and neither are the humidities. The fire's not really stoppable. And so when you're dealing with this kind of a slope, because you can't get ahead of it. It's just too fast and it's too big. And we do put significant resources into the retardant and water drops, but that doesn't put the fire out. It just slows it down a little bit, and it doesn't always do that. Sometimes it overruns the retardant, and it doesn't always work. So sometimes they can't stop it, and it continues to burn until it hits some other point, like a river, a road, something big, or a wetting rain, or enough days in a row of high humidity, so that firefighters can really get ahead in their work. Right now, it's like keeping up with this is like pan line and stuff. It's extremely challenging.